Hi everyone, my name is Yogita Patel and I work with the TMM team in the CMBU org at VMware. Today I'm going to show you about our new logs feature in our product VMware Aria for Applications. And this logs feature actually we demoed at our last Explore where it was in beta still, but this time around now we're going GA with it. And in addition to that, we also have CSP enabled for Aria Operations for Applications. So before we take a look at what the details of this feature are, let me show you a little bit about what it means to you when you log into the services console. So if you have this product full-fledged, then you will see two tiles, one for VMware Aria Operations for Applications as well as VMware Aria Operations for Logs. Now, exactly how the different editions work together, maybe it's something you can talk to your salesperson or your TAM to get details about it. But if you are not using the trial version of the product, as in the trial version of the logs feature within VMware Aria Operations for Applications, then you will see both these tiles in your services. If you do not have Aria Operations for Logs at all in your service instance, then you will only see the trial instance within VMware Aria Operations for Applications. And like I said before, of what works, what doesn't work, how you can get the full productivity out of both these products with this feature is something you could discuss with your sales team or with your TAM. Means is that in your org, if you have Aria Operations for Applications as well as Aria Operations for Logs, you can use the logs feature within Aria Applications and take advantage of being able to go from traces to logs, from alerts to logs, from dashboard metrics to logs directly, all within Aria Applications without having to switch context, switch applications to be able to dig deeper into the logs. So let's get started here. So I have a few applications that have been configured for Kubernetes. Let's take a look at, say, going from this application. So if you are already an Aria Applications user, then Aria Operations for Applications user, then you're probably aware already that the color coding on these connections here between your services in your application indicate the health of that service. So as you can see, there's a few reds here. So I would like to take a look at what's going on with this front-end service, which means let me go take a look at the logs for this front-end service. And as you can see, when it switched over from the application, it brought over the application name as well as the service name when it came over to the logs GUI. If I want to dig deeper into a specific pod ID or group by pod ID my query, then I can select pod ID here and query to actually be able to see the application, the service grouped by pod ID. Now, if you can see these little dots or bangs here at the very beginning of the logs that you see here, these indicate what type of a log it is, whether it's info, warning, error, critical. So if it's red, it's typically an error. You might want to click here and take a look at the details of the log message as to what exactly the log is about, what are the different tags on the specific log. These are all the things that you can see right from within the Aria applications, Aria Operations for Applications UI right here. Now the next do is that if you have traces for the same service and the same demo, now you could be coming to these traces, say from a service dashboard perhaps. So let's take a look at it. So let me select my application of interest where I know that we just saw there are some errors with the front-end service in the RKE Hotel demo. So in this case, let me take a look at the traces here. Notice again that it carried over the context of the application name and the service for me. And as you can see that it shows you the red metrics right here. And it also shows you the traces for your API calls. Now you can see there is a search logs feature here. So for this particular trace, if you need to take a look at the logs for it, you can use that, and once again it carries forward the application and the service context for you. By default, this time window is typically a 10-minute time window. In this case, it's actually a 10-second time window. So let me switch that to at 2 days. Then I can see the same errors that I was seeing before when I came over from the application into the logs message. So, and again, you can always group by certain fields here, like just like I showed in the previous section where I came over to the logs from the application. Now, the next most important thing or feature that we have in Aria Operations for applications is creating logs alert. Just like we had metrics alert, where we, are able to click into the firing alerts and take a look at the logs right from within your metric alert, where it shows you, in this case, this particular alert doesn't seem to have a whole lot of logs, but you can actually go to from the log summary, go to the detailed logs for the firing alert, and then do your drill down from there. But the new thing that I would like to show you is to be able to create a logs alert. Now, this is a feature that is still in progress, which means that by the end of this quarter, all the pieces of functionality that you can see when creating an alert in Log Insight or Aria Applications for Logs, you can do the same in Aria Applications, Aria Operations for Applications as well. So you can give it a query name, for example. Filter section is what's not working yet, but I can search on, say, all errors. I can set the conditions. I can select the logs tag, for example, and select cluster. Add more than one tag here, or stick to one. I can say that it's more than 5 events. I want this particular alert to be triggered. Very similar to what you, if you are already familiar with using Aria Operations for logs, then you will be check ease with setting the conditions here. The next thing is the recipients, which is a work in progress, and the content activation. So you can give this alert a name. So for example, I'm going to give my alert same name as my query, or similar name as my query, I guess, and click activate. You have to wait for a few cycles for it to pick up the data. The moment I say activate, notice that the state of my alert is checking. And if you go over to Aria Operations for logs and refresh your screen here, you will notice that the alert that I created in Aria Operations for Applications actually now shows up in Aria Operations for Logs. You can see the different settings that I had selected there are brought over here, and it is in an enabled state. when the alert is fired, I get notified by standard notifications that you may have set up within Aria Operations for logs as well as within Aria Operations for applications. So this is basically the gist of what the whole logs feature within Aria Operations for applications is all about. And we hope that you can take advantage of this feature and find value in it, with the whole context carry over from alerts to logs, from traces to logs, from dashboard metrics and charts to logs, and without having to switch between applications, and be proactive with your monitoring of your Kubernetes or your TKG environments. So thanks for your time today, and hope you are able to find